right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a lovely day here in Philadelphia. Um, I am doing another coffee break chat. I got my coffee. I haven't finished making it yet because, as always, I'm running late. Got our normal guest here on screen with us, Jay. Jay, please introduce yourself, your pronouns, what it is you do for the folks who've never watched before. And we'll get talking.
Okay. Good morning, folks. Jay Sadiq, pronouns are he, him, they. I'm a photographer and truck driver. It's a weird mix, but that's what I do.
It's an awesome mix. It's a good mix. Us freelancers just do what we need to do to survive. Is what it comes down to. So when there's no photography to do, we find things to do.
Legal
and,
things.
Huh?
Legal things.
Legal things. Yes. Yes. We're always talking about talking with people, like how to reduce gun violence, how to improve our communities, and I feel like they should talk to artist freelancers more often, because like we're always finding stuff to do, right? Like there's never a time when we have idle hands. So anyway. It is a great morning because for the final time, Donnie Dushkanu has left the White House. Pie.
A lot more fingers than what I used to give them, but I'm trying to be nice today. It's a new year.
It's a new year. Yeah, I know. I have a lot of leftist, anarchist, various type of folks who are friends of mine, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you do, and I just let those of us whose primary goal was to see Donnie leave the White House revel in the moment. Mm-hmm. It's a lovely morning for that. Let's revel in that for a few moments, and we can move on with you and start talking about the stupidity of the new White House when they've actually had the chance to make a couple of mistakes.
It's the first day, like relax.
Not to say that they haven't made any mistakes.
Look at Biden's time. I don't like this country, dude. He just got in.
Not to say he hasn't made any mistakes yet.
Come on, these folks are fingernail polish. What the hell? This country's going to hell. Wait a minute, man. Fingernail polish, really?
One of the best things so far. Let us concentrate on the good things for a few moments. One of the best things so far, he from us we're in Pennsylvania, in this tri-state area. One of the best things so far is he brought along to the White House and to the cabinet Dr. Rachel Levine, who some folks have said relatively negative things about her, but she's done a really good job. Sorry, I have to just maneuver a cat. Sheesh. It's like sharing office space with a toddler.
Yeah, cats think that you are renting space from them. That's how cats feel about humans.
Yeah. Cheryl Brown Lewis. Cheryl, when you get your camera on and your microphone on, please introduce yourself and your pronouns and what it is you do. I don't see you yet, so I'm assuming we're having a little technical difficulty. At any rate, why is my video off? Oh, I see.
Yeah, weird.
I moved the cat and it knocked the video off. At any rate, so Dr. Rachel Levine has been the chief medical practitioner here in Pennsylvania for the last, I want to say 3-4 years. Obviously, not usually at the forefront, except for in a time of pandemic. And so she's been at the forefront of all the news, and for a while they were doing daily reports on the pandemic, and they've gone to weekly reports on the pandemic, doing a great job with managing data, keeping people informed, keeping people aware of what the best practices are during this pandemic. And just in general, doing a really good job of being a chief medical practitioner here in Pennsylvania. I've had no complaints. Have you had any complaints about her, Jay?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people are just weird. They can't see, the forest for the trees, as it were. So, I don't know.
The forest is flat.
So, yeah, really good person, really good at her job, and very happy that she'll be on the national stage helping the federal government figure out medical issues and what needs to be done for the country. All right, so now we have a new Cheryl. Maybe the new Cheryl will have audio and video.
I'm gonna see if I like this Cheryl. I like the old one, but I'm gonna see how this one goes.
I mean, any Cheryl is good Cheryl.
It's true.
I don't know what's
going on.
Oh,
I have audio. I can hear you. I can't see you yet. But
I don't know what it was. Just won't let me be great today.
Let's be like the Republicans. Man, it's Trump's fault. The show's camera's not working. It's Trump's fault.
Exactly. Oh my God.
What's up, T-shirt gang?
What's up? Today I'm wearing Equity. So it's a T-shirt that one of my my good friends, my best friend, my travel buddy, designed for her job of achieving the dream. They do a lot of college tours and getting underprivileged college students or underprivileged high school students into college.
Awesome. Do they do that as like how do they go about doing that?
So it's actually a nonprofit, and they do like this year is kind of weird, but they do travel across the U.S. and they have a lot of like presentations for a lot of high school students. High school students have gone through their program, give feedback, and it's a really great program for just high school students in general, but especially underprivileged ones. It's headquarters, I think, is in DC. That's where my friend's home base is. But yeah, so I've gone on a few trips and attended a few of those conferences, and they're huge conferences. Not last year, but the year before, we were in Long Beach, California, and there were a lot of students that were giving presentations, and scholarships are given out. It's a really great program.
So this fits right in with our topic of activism. We did want to talk a little bit about activism today, and as being illustrated here by Cheryl, activism isn't all that hard. You can do activism that is directly related with what it is you normally do and your normal passions. And it's important. We were just talking about, this is a change of presidency. Obviously, there are still going to be issues. There's still going to be problems. There's still going to be, things we don't agree with, things that don't service the community, things that don't service us as Black people. That's how you get things done, though. That's how you get things done, is you become an activist. You be activist in your community. The Black Panther Party, Martin Luther King, they weren't well known because they were, you know, everybody always talks about, oh, Martin Luther King was this great orator. There were times when nobody came to his speeches. There were times when he talked at a church and nobody came. So what he was an activist. He went out, he found problems in his community, and he offered solutions. So be an activist, you know,
and it's kind of weird when people see problems in their community and literally don't do anything about it other than complain. How do you think it's ever going to get fixed? I mean, if you're just complaining, it's never going to get fixed. Like, I never understood.
I love the people who are NIMBY or complain about something in their neighborhood that they could change themselves. Like, you know, we live in a city. Well, I live in a city. Jay, you live in the suburbs, right?
I live exactly 10 minutes from 69th Street Terminal, so pretty much I live like in the city.
Yeah. Okay, so not you live in like the expanded part of the city. Cheryl lives in the suburbs. Right. Yeah. I live in like the city. Like, my house touches both of my other neighbors, literally. But, you know, there's a lot of people here, is the point. There's a lot of people. They're all real close. So, you know, when I go on to a Facebook page or a local discussion, or I meet up with my neighbors in the street and people are complaining about, oh, why is the street so full of trash? Fucking pick it up. I don't know.
Right. It's also kind of weird that, like, I don't know, a lot of those values that people had back in the day, they've gone away. People used to sweep their sidewalks. You know, people used to,
I still do.
And some people just throw things on their sidewalk and just keep going. Like, they don't care. They think it's someone else's problem. Someone else has to pick it up, not them.
Well, it is somebody else's problem at that point. It's my problem.
Right. That's your trash now.
But yeah, no, the reason why I wanted to talk activism was because there's the correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel it's a very white-led change of the Martin Luther King Jr. national holiday to be a day of service. I could be wrong. I don't know for sure, but I feel like that's a very white-led interpretation of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Like, why? And I feel like it's something recent too. Maybe I'm wrong. I have been wrong before. Do you remember it as kids being a day of service, quote unquote?
No. I think that's probably within the past, I would say, 10 years or so.
I still work, just in case you're wondering. Like, I had to work that day.
Right. Had to go to work that day, had to go to school that day. It wasn't like,
but you gotta get in that truck, bro. You know. People need
like, even me, like, I had to work on Monday. Well, technically I'm on PTO this week, but I'm still working, but whatever. But yeah, the day of service thing, I feel like it's more recent. Like, my alma mater has been doing a day of service, but I feel like it's only been 10 years since I've been, seeing that. Maybe 15.
Yeah, I don't remember it ever previously being a quote unquote day of service, but yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't think it should be a day of service. Dr. King's activism wasn't about serving people; it was about serving the community, bringing the community together to serve itself. The whole. Some of the things that some folks like to to shout in marches now come from that era and from the movements started by Dr. King and Malcolm, and who protects us that's directly from the civil rights movement. We protect us is directly from the Black Panthers. So every time you're shouting that, just realize you're speaking the language of oppressed Black people, and something that we started because white folks were oppressing us. So I don't know. Yep. Maybe I get a little heated about this stuff. I don't know.
A little bit.
Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to goof around with the layout here, just to make the broadcast look more professional. It's hard to goof around with the layout and talk at the same time, but and do it in such a way that it doesn't screw up everything. So,
right. Like disconnect all of us at the same time because you're trying to finish the layout.
Yeah, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to make a nice 3-up for us. Right now, you guys are kind of small on screen, and I'm a little bit bigger, which looks nice when it's an interviewer with a panel and 4 people on screen or whatever. Right now, it just looks a little weird because it's the 2 of you and then me real big. So I'm just messing around with it. At any rate, let me just click back on the title card here. Inauguration. Let's talk about that. We've got an hour and 40 minutes left to go in the Trump. I don't even want to call it a presidency. What would you all call it?
Regime.
Regime.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah. I don't even know what to call it. Season 4 of the Trump.
Season 4 of The Apprentice White House edition.
Yeah,
because that's really what it was.
Episode 365. Every single day there was something that was newsworthy happening. Every single day for 4 years. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, it has been insane. I do want to talk a little bit about, I was listening this morning to a historian with a little bit of a left-wing bent. He was talking about he was arguing through using history for a change in the way the presidential change of power happens. Obviously, we had an election in November. It was certified in December, and we're sitting here 2-3 months later. And the power has the change of power hasn't taken place. Why is that? And you get that because of things like in the 1800s it was impossible to get from northern Maine to Washington D.C. in under a month. In the 1700s, it was impossible to get from the tip of Florida to D.C. in a couple of months. You were taking horses or carriages. Some parts of it were by train, which is relatively reliable by the turn of the 20th century, but. You had difficulty in getting messages quickly to a wide geographical area, which the United States always has been. And his argument was, it's pretty logical up to this point. obviously now we can get messages instantaneously from Mars if we want to, or as close as light speed will let us hear that message. So why have this long transition of power? The problem comes when he started talking about the insurgency and the attempted coup. His position was that the attempted coup would not have happened if folks planning the coup had only had a couple of weeks versus a couple of months to plan. I hate to tell you, whoever you are, because I didn't write it down. I was just listening to it. These people have been planning this for over a year. I did the research. I was part of the anti-fascist groups that were doing the research, and I did the research. There are posts going back over a year where people are posting that this election is going to be stolen. We need to make sure that Trump stays in power. Trump was telegraphing this sedition for over 2 years. I don't know where, what world you live in that you haven't been paying attention, but yeah.
Even kind of like how you said, it's like so information travels fast. We all actually have the same access to this information. So I'm not necessarily sure of how people ignore the actual information. It's amazing. I physically do not know how they could possibly not know this was going to happen. And like you said, we've heard this forever. Like, I think when they realized, and especially after the pandemic started, that he was going to lose, and it got even more and more, I guess, dire for them to say, well, this election is going to be stolen, and don't allow, mail-in ballots. They're illegal, which they're not. They needed to push that narrative back then to get their following to follow them now. Like, it's amazing. I wish I had that kind of function in my life where I can just forget reality.
Yeah, I don't understand where it all came from. I see Chris has joined us, but again, I don't have video. Maybe there's something weird going on with Zoom this morning.
It's probably crazy because of the inauguration, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Can you hear me at least?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, well, at least I'm audible. Yeah, I don't know. It's not giving me any options to do anything with the video on my end except turn it off and turn it back on again, which I already tried, because it's not showing up on my screen either as having video. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, good morning. Happy No More Trump Day.
Yes.
Happy No More Trump Day.
I was listening in to you while I was eating my breakfast before I hopped on, and I heard that you were trying to figure out the video formatting, so I figured I'd jump in and screw it all up for you again, but I couldn't even do that right because I don't even have a video for you to
well, you're a black square right now on my screen, so that's fine. I'm going with it.
Okay.
We're good. So I'll just use you as a black square and we'll figure it out after that. This is live production, folks, so I apologize.
That's
To
showbiz.
anybody who's expecting a really polished final product from me. I
can promise I'm not that good looking anyway. Any of your viewers who have seen me on former chats are probably know they're not missing anything.
Oh, Chris. Self-deprecation is always appreciated from everyone. Anyway, where did that go? All right, so we have them. Oh, there you are. All right, let's drop you in here, and let's see here. So, yep, just sort of finished a new layout here. I'm obviously going to have to futz with it in a minute, but anyway, Center to screen.
So what are you guys looking forward to in a post-Trump America?
That's a very good question.
I know it's a tough one. I've been thinking about it for like a week, and I can't decide.
I think the thing I want or I'm looking forward to the most is forgetting we even have a president sometimes. Like things are just so like whatever. Like I don't have to hear about like, oh, he said this, he did this, he talked about this person, he's in a Twitter fight with that person. I just want to one day and just be like, oh shit, is Biden still president? Like like that would be nice.
Wait, the country's still running, right? Like
right,
I haven't heard any tweets in a while. So
give a phone call. Hey, is your country running? Yeah, you better go catch it.
That's gonna be Donnie calling from Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. He already retreated. So yeah, it's like, yeah.
20 minutes late. 20 minutes late, and obviously not welcoming the person that's following him. But yeah,
supposedly he left them a note. I wonder what that note said.
Hey,
I wonder
luck.
if
fuck you.
Yeah, I wonder if that note's written in Crown.
It probably is in all capital letters or something like.
No, it's written in Sharpie. He wrote it in Sharpie. He had to, he doesn't know how to.
Yeah. Macron and even what's the England guy? I can't remember his name right now.
The Muppet.
The British Prime Minister that looks like a Muppet version of that.
Yeah.
Why can't I remember his name? Either way, I'm like really looking forward to like world conferences where like all of those people aren't like gathered around together in a group, like obviously laughing at our president. That having a little bit of dignity in the world community again seems
it's gonna be weird.
Yeah,
it's gonna be weird to see like how the foreign relations actually end up being. Like, will they just be so relieved to not have Trump that they'll just like love anybody we elect as long as it wasn't him? But like you said, like seeing them get together and not be laughing at us. I mean, we already were being laughed at as it is, but it was even worse after the election. And they literally, like, I was on a call with colleagues the day after the election in 2016, and they were flabbergasted that one of my other colleagues actually voted for Trump. And they laughed at first because, it was like a nervous laugh, like, oh my God, he really did. And like they thought she was playing, and she was really fucking serious. But she was from Kentucky. So, thanks, Kentucky. But yeah.
Thanks, Kentucky.
So
it was like one of those things
Kentucky
like,
has produced
crazy.
some good things, all right?
I think
credit for bourbon.
Yeah, that's about it. No, I think that's really about it.
Honestly, if it weren't for Kentucky, I probably wouldn't have made it through the last 4 years because bourbon was a crucial part of that for me.
If it weren't for Kentucky, you wouldn't have had McConnell, and you wouldn't have had to make it through the last 4 years on bourbon.
Yeah, I know, and Rand Paul. Trust me, I know. Listen, we have a very complicated, love-hate relationship. Me and Kentucky, we do. I love bluegrass, but man, their politics.
One of our regular viewers, Amanda, commented, "Yes, Boris Johnson is the Muppet."
Oh yes,
Boris Johnson. Yeah.
None of us could
Yeah,
remember.
he's even got a goofy name, like Boris Johnson.
Thank you, Amanda, for commenting.
Or something.
Like neither of those names are goofy on their own, but all together. Like Boris Johnson is just a weird name to me.
That's a rough childhood. Public school. That's a rough childhood right there, buddy. Like, what's your name? Oh,
Forrest,
Yeah, but he was
Johnson.
in English boarding schools, so you know he was probably, you know, with fellas like, you know, Tad Thorpinson.
That's true.
Yeah, Boris
like
is
for
like
them, I guess
this is
it's
like the British.
not weird.
Boris is like the British version of like Jason or Xander or something, isn't it?
You know, Jason's the Sanders in the corner crying right now. What's wrong with my name?
No, it's not you guys. I'm sorry. shouldn't be making fun of Boris for his name. There's plenty of other reasons to
We
make
judge everyone on the Coffee Talk Show. No one is safe. No one's safe.
No one
No one is safe on this show. Sorry.
Anyone named Cleophas? That's a very old black man name.
What? We got a new president, and he's not a traitorous Muppet? Fuck him too.
Yeah.
Also that. Traitorous Muppet. Yeah, dude, I didn't realize that the Muppet Insurrection movie was going to be filmed in live action. Like that was, that was pretty incredible.
It was pretty amazing that they pulled together that production so fast.
I know, with COVID and everything, it's almost like they didn't even have COVID restrictions. I was so impressed.
You know, like I saw a few masks, but they were, you know, a little questionable with the whole American flag thing. But yeah, there wasn't a mask in sight when they were coming through the Capitol.
Oh, insurrectionist Muppets. I could see Animal. So the dude in the horns is obviously
yes,
Animal.
yeah, Animal can be Q Shaman. Yep. Yeah, let's cast this. Who's Sam Eagle? Who's Sam Eagle in all this?
Sam Eagle is McConnell, unfortunately.
Probably, yeah, that's probably accurate.
Is Trump being played by Gonzo?
I don't know.
Because Gonzo always has a point that nobody cares about. Like, nobody really cares what Gonzo says.
No, Trump is like Oscar the Grouch.
No, actually, but Gonzo's kind of a sexual predator that chases chickens, so I think the casting would work.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that part. Yeah.
Always trying to smash a chicken. Like, no matter what's going on.
Wait.
Well, you know, when they...
You guys remember the Sesame Street episode with Ronald Grump?
Yes, they did it twice, right? They had Ronald Trump, and then they did another one.
Yeah, so there's already precedent for this. We already have like a Donald Trump Muppet to work with here.
Sure do.
What's the?
That was 20-some years ago, 30 years ago.
So one of the nice
like they tried to warn us, and nobody was paying attention.
Yeah, one of the nice. Well, okay, so this is one thing that I've been saying forever, and I will continue to say. The entire Northeast New York area, I'm talking to you. Jersey Shore, Atlantic City, New York City, northern New Jersey, y'all fucked up, okay? You did not make it clear. You didn't take out, like, you should have made a movie and, like, multiple documentaries and, like, taking out, like, multi-page ads in the New York Times to say, this is who Trump is. Huh?
I think all that stuff happened. I just think, didn't it? Right? They didn't.
No, I mean, like,
I don't think anybody really did. I think we just kind of told people, like, hey, you do know what he did in New York and Atlantic City, and people were like, oh yeah, but he's a great businessman. Like, that's how business is run.
It's like, no. Weren't you paying attention? We just explained how he's not.
Yeah, we just explained
corruption, scandal, unpaid workers. You guessed it, unpaid workers.
And then people are surprised that they're not getting paid right now by him.
I would rather have Scrooge McDuck be in charge of my finances than Donald Trump, and he's not a real person or a real thing. He bought his money though. He won't get paid.
Yeah, I don't think that Scrooge McDuck owes Deutsche Bank like $300 million. So he must be doing something, right?
It's so funny. You would have loved my mask last week. My mask last week was Scrooge McDuck.
Anybody but Trump.
Yeah, I bought a Christmas mask. It's Scrooge McDuck with Mickey Mouse, and it says "Time is money." So yeah, that was definitely fitting for this whole administration. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how like I would have trusted literally anyone else to be in that position except for him.
A bowl of yellow. Any flavor you
All
want.
right, wait, hold on. All right. Now I want to test this. What about Joe Exotic? Would you have rather had Joe? Because Joe Exotic, if he had gotten his pardon from Trump, would be eligible to run in 2024, I believe. So would you rather Joe Exotic?
Oh, Joe Exotic is the guy from Tiger King?
Tiger King.
Yeah. He's the real. He's the meme dude.
Yeah.
Damn. I at this point, he couldn't be worse than what we had, right? I don't know. We say that in 2016. We were like, it can't get any worse. It's like he can't do that much damage.
I would take the Russian bad guy from the first Equalizer film with Denzel Washington, and he was absolutely ruthless. But at least you know where he stands at. I would take him over Trump.
I'm voting for Thanos.
Realistically, I wanna see what Pence does. Realistically, I'm really excited to see what the heck Pence does, because
you don't think his political career is just over?
Yeah, like, or is it not over and people will vote for him because he didn't talk very much? I forgot what his voice sounded like. So since he didn't talk very much and didn't go for or against Trump until now, maybe he might actually have a chance in the future that people will.
And here's the thing.
We have bad memories.
Here's the thing, though, Cheryl. Like, he is as far right of a politician as anybody's ever seen in this country. And he looks like a fucking moderate compared to the last 4 years.
Right.
So he's going to be the moderate candidate from the Republican ticket come 2025.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah,
and we have short memories. People will forget all this shit that happened and only blame it on Trump and forget what Pence's,
2029. No, I do not want to see Trump in a wheelchair on the dais with President
Sacha Baron
Obama.
Cohen, is that
Sasha Obama?
Oh, Sasha Obama.
Yeah.
Sacha Baron Cohen, though, I would vote for him.
Over Trump? Yeah, definitely.
I don't think a lot of people understand the magnitude of just how unqualified he was to have this position. I'm not.
Some people do, but a lot of people don't. You're right.
I'm not a very patriotic American because America is like the uncle that molested you but pushed you through grad school. Shout out to Chris Rock for that quote. But even with that being said, I was embarrassed as an American to have that turd as a president. And to make me embarrassed as an American, as much as I don't know about the dirt this country has done every day and still doing, that's impressive.
Yeah, man.
That's
like
I'm not very patriotic. I don't care if you don't like the fact that a black dude's not patriotic, because I got a lot of receipts to show you why I'm not
for
patriotic.
Real.
A lot of receipts.
Dude, I had a very.
I was ashamed to be American. Ever.
I had a very similar experience under Donald Trump. I've never been like a super rah rah go America, stand for the flag, kneel for the cross kind of guy. I've been very, very aware of American imperialism and all the problems that entails, and colonialism, all that good shit for a long time. And somehow still the bar was lowered.
It's like when you come to career day as a kid, and your buddy's friends are like firefighters and like policemen, and like your mom's like a CEO, and your dad's handing out mixtapes. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, like what does your dad do? Like, oh, he's just a rapper.
Your dad comes in the classroom and is like, yo, any of you kids need any Lucy?
I got that fire, son. Pick this young boy. And he's handing out cassettes.
Opens up his
like,
coat,
he's handing cassettes out like, Dad, please stop. That's how it felt having him as president. Like, he has mixtapes on cassettes. Like, where do I play this? Is USB drive?
Like, not even a CD, which you can't even find a place to play it. Yeah. Me and my travel buddy actually tell people that we're from Canada. Like, every time we go to a different country, it's like, oh, Canada. Like, it's so bad that when we get shot down, like, we have Canada in the house, and me and her like raise our hands and shit. Like,
That's funny. I don't blame you at all, but that's
love it.
hilarious.
I'm going to use that when I travel from now on. I'm so
It's awesome. No one really questions like what part of Canada are you from, so whatever.
Because Canada minds their business. They're like the United Nations of this entire continent. Like, nah, that's y'all doing that shit. I'm good.
Right.
But
you
know, even Canada now is having problems because of us. Like we're like a effing virus. We are the pandemic of the world. Canada.
What's the meme? Canada's like the neighbor who lives upstairs of the meth lab, in the apartment above the meth lab.
Right.
But Canada is having problems with the with right wing. I don't even want. They're not even right wingers. I don't even know. Fascist isn't encompassing enough. Right wingers isn't encompassing enough. They're just people who want to feel oppressed. They want to feel oppressed.
Weird.
Trust me, you don't want to feel oppressed. It's not a good fitting suit. It's polyester blend. It's very cheap. You don't want to feel that.
Don't feel the leather.
No. It's that sticky plastic on your grandma's couch and she refuses to turn the fucking AC on. That's how oppression feels, buddy. It sucks. Nana, please.
Every single day.
Run up my light bill.
It's not like there's a day you go by and you're like, I'm not oppressed today. This is awesome. Like, there's really never a break from being oppressed.
I drive an 18-wheeler and I'm still nervous to drive past state troopers. And I'm in an 18-wheeler. I'm still like, he might pull me over. Oh, shit.
Right. You're just hauling a whole bunch of drugs across state lines.
But James, I think that the world is looking at us because of how we not handled COVID. And my buddy, he said this is the perfect way of determining how we're looked at around the world. We've become the smelly kid in class because of the way we've handled COVID.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we are. We're the smelly kid.
It's the leadership. It's the
we're
people.
cool, but we stink.
Yeah, it's not even like I don't understand how we fell so far as like we just have no personal responsibility for others' well-being. Like, give a shit. It's all about my rights and all that fun stuff, and who cares? And I crunched the numbers, and like people were like, "Well, why should I care about somebody else?" I can't breathe when I wear a mask. Really, it feels great to not be able to breathe.
You can't have your motto as a country as breathing, you're poor and you're helpless, and then turn around and say, "Why should I care about the people?" Wait a minute, what?
You're always like, well, why don't you look at the?
Oh, we threw that motto out in the '80s, man.
The side is it's a 99% survival rate for the virus, right? Oh, that's cool. All right, so 99% survival rate. 1% death rate of the U.S. is 3.8 million people. Like, that's a lot of fucking people to die.
Yeah, man. Fuck 1 out of every 100 people you know.
Yeah, people don't realize when they say, "Oh, it's 1%." They don't realize what 1% means. I have 500 Facebook friends. That would mean I know 5 people that died if everyone caught COVID.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's also totally
5 people that died.
Right, and that's also totally discounting like all of the other negative repercussions that aren't death.
Right. You may not
like,
die,
all the lung damage, the depression, and I thought the thing that was really finally gonna like really send it home for America, and maybe we'd like start taking it seriously, is when it started to come out that like people who had COVID were having erectile dysfunction issues. I really thought that was going to be the thing.
Wait, what?
Okay, can you hear me?
Wait, hold on, everybody!
If Pfizer's little blue pill can fix it, they'll take that, but won't take the vaccine.
Right, yeah, right. Well, you can't fit a microchip in a pill, but you can in a vaccine.
That's how I convinced a couple of my friends to get help about depression. I said, you can get so depressed where your manhood doesn't work. He was like, what's that doctor's number? That's things I want to talk about now.
All right, it's time to go to therapy.
That'll inspire you.
So we've moved on to healthcare a bit. I do want to. I wanted to talk. There was one part of healthcare that I really wanted to talk about, which is the the goal of 100,000 people vaccinated in the first 100 days. I'm not certain.
Wasn't it 100 million?
100 million?
Yeah, I thought that was the number.
Yeah, it can't be 100,000 because there's probably already 100,000 people vaccinated.
Yeah, and I mean that's super ambitious. Like especially even if a competent president had been running the vaccine rollout already and he was coming into a good situation, that would be a super ambitious goal.
Yeah, and it's also kind of weird that I don't know what some of these states have been doing all this time and didn't plan. But Delaware still has not set up any. Well, they did set up one, and they vaccinated a whole bunch of random people. But I'm a part of 1A, and I'm still not able to find a place to get vaccinated. So I'm not associated with a hospital.
Well, yeah,
but,
and people are like months out, even if they're eligible. Like if they're going to make appointments, and they're months out from getting an appointment to get vaccinated, way past 100 days. And so here's the thing, people are starting to talk about racial disparity in vaccination. So not only is there a racial disparity because of the Black community's reluctance to trust the white community's medicine, but for the most part, the white community has done a pretty good job of at least papering over this particular vaccine to say, look, we're all taking it. It's safe for you.
Right.
And most of the people that I know, like, unless they were anti-vax already, like anti-every vaccine, they're like, okay, I'll take it when it's available for me. Here's the reason why it's not available.
It's about 50-50 in my clique. They're like, okay, we want you to take it, but I want to see what it does for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not going to take it, but it's like if you go to someone's house and the conversation in the car is that her food is so horrible, the homeless give it back. We want you to eat the first nugget or hors d'oeuvre first and see how long it takes you to go to the washroom. Like,
right.
Sneezing.
But so there's that, but they're already starting to talk about how there's a disparity between the white and Black community in even getting vaccine rollout up to now amongst people who are eligible. Here's why. There is not equal access to healthcare between the white and Black community. So you're creating a distribution system that is predicated on being diagnosed with diseases that make you more susceptible to death in the case of getting COVID. If you haven't been to the doctor in the last 25 years, you're not going to be diagnosed with the diseases that make you more likely to die in case of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really valid, and that's something I had not even really considered, to be honest with you. That's a really big deal. Yeah,
healthcare accessibility is not equal in this country. It never has been.
Well, no, I was aware of that. I just didn't. I didn't think through the full ramifications on that when it came to vaccine rollout, and that's a really valid point.
Even if you live near a Starbucks or a Whole Food, you probably don't have access to good healthcare.
Right.
Fight me. I dare you. I dare you to die. I go through every hood in almost every single city I drive through. Most of the loading docks and distribution centers, you have to go through the hood to deliver your goods off this truck. And I don't see any healthcare in these hoods. Now, when I go to the suburbs or the more affluent neighborhoods with the Whole Foods and the Wegmans and all those exotic, well, it's exotic to me because I grew up poor, exotic markets. I see clinics and healthcares and get vaccinated and blood pressure this and dialysis. Oh, well, we do have dialysis in the hood. We didn't have that, but I don't see that access to really good healthcare. That Ready Clinic at Rite Aid, that doesn't count. Don't do
well, we have dialysis in the hood because because of the sugar, the targeting of sugar into the Black community, and it's a really good way to funnel money out of the Black community too. I mean, when the biggest dialysis company, the president of the biggest dialysis company in the United States rides a horse in full armor onto the stage to do his yearly
Wait,
this is no
is
joke,
real?
folks.
This is
no
real?
joke. Yes.
Oh my
go
God.
look up video.
I don't think I can, man.
This is interesting.
Go look up video of the DaVita president riding a horse in full armor onto the stage in a hotel for his one of his quarterly presentations to his company of company profits.
Like, that's like some shit that you would do if you were in a prog band in the 70s. What the fuck?
Like, what is do they get paid a lot to work there? Like, I would feel some type of way if the CEO of the company that I work for, that I'm getting basically, chump change, and you ride in on a fucking horse. Like, what the hell? Like, you better raise my pay. Like,
yeah, man, talk about fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Like,
literally.
Yeah, no, feel free to go look that up, folks. It's killer, and it really speaks to something that I talk about all the time, which is we funnel money out of black communities, and this
is what it gets spent on.
This is one of the main ways we funnel money out of black community is access to healthcare.
We funnel a lot of money out of the U.S. I don't know how many things I've bought from Amazon in the past 9 months or so. Like, damn it if everything isn't made in China. I haven't gotten anything that's made in Taiwan. I haven't gotten anything that was like made in Singapore or Bangladesh or any of those old, places that used to be, big manufacturing areas. I think I bought one thing that was made in the U.S.
Because we outsource everything. In one hand, you have people, especially Trumpers, complaining that I want everything made in America and blah, blah, blah. Well, the people that you rock with and support, all your Fords and all those gigantic American companies, they outsource everything.
I mean, if you look at...
Americans are perfectly capable of assembling iPhones. We have hands.
Right. And if you look at Flint, they were, booming economy. They had, the auto industry. Is literally, as soon as they took those plants out of that place, it went downhill. It's a direct effect. If you look here in Delaware, in Newark, not having Chrysler there, that closed all those little stores around it that all the Chrysler employees used to go to.
A lot of steel plants in Pittsburgh closed down a long years ago, and those places look devastated when I drive through them.
Exactly.
You think it's 1914.
Plant doesn't just affect the factory workers, which factory work is good for people who can't afford to go to college, but still are skilled in what they do.
And they shouldn't have to have a degree to make a living. We have to get out of that aesthetic. We have to get out of that.
Right.
I agree with that.
Parents were in school, you had auto shop and wood shop and all these different trades where you made almost as much as a medical professional. And then that was yanked out and it devastated the entire country.
Yep.
And now I have to go to Lincoln Tech to be a welder. I have to go to Mako to be an auto mechanic. You used to have that in high school. I went to Overbrook High School. Mm-hmm. We had empty garages with all that equipment. Exactly. I'm like, why don't we have auto shop? Oh, this is building. And I'm like...
Yeah. We don't have auto shop because there was a movement in the 90s to prioritize sports, especially for people who lived in minority communities or weren't performing as well in the No Child Left Behind and unified education criteria. So that's why we don't have arts. We don't have in school. We don't have. I lived through it. I lived through the downfall of the American education system, and I have a lot of educator friends. And this is not to speak poorly of teachers in any sort of way. Teachers are out there doing a really hard job, and providing basically daycare for the entire country for pennies on the dollar. But there's a downfall of education, and education is the silver bullet in the for society in general. So we do need to work on education in the coming years. Hopefully, now that we don't have a literal thief as the Secretary of Education, will hopefully be able to.
Yeah, that's another sort of ripple about this. There's this conservative it's really at this point. At one point, I would have said it feels like a deliberate strategy, but at this point, it's very obviously a deliberate strategy where they will come in, like a person like Betsy DeVos will come in and like do everything possible within her power to hamstring the American education system, and then push charter schools because it's all about privatization. Because that's where the money is.
But she owns charter schools, and that's why she's pushing charter schools.
And that's so weird because people of Michigan warned us of what she does. Like, they were literally like,
not very good at listening to warnings. Even all through history, Pearl Harbor, 9/11. There's always one or two male or female scientists that says, "Look, there was a whole fleet of Japanese carriers and aircraft ships and battleships right here, and now I can't find them. Don't worry about it." Don't worry about it.
I mean, look at the insurrection. Look at the insurrection. Look at the insurrection. We had tons of anti-fascists posting all over the internet. I posted a news article 3 days before saying, "Hey, look, they're talking about doing this," and nobody listened. We're all so surprised there was no intelligence.
I saw them, listen, the day it happened, I swear to you, the day it happened, I saw them gassing up at a Maryland rest area in droves. And I felt like my black dude spider sense was like, something's happening today. Because he's leaving in a few weeks. Why are y'all like a motorcade with the flags and the masks? And I'm like, something's not quite right. So let me get back in the truck.
And find my gun, and I'm gonna carry it right here today.
Like really, really charged up, energized, and then a few hours later, when I'm back home, Capitol Hill, boom.
Yeah.
Yep. I wanted to take the last minute just to. I'm sorry to cut it short, but I wanted to just take the last minute because I did promise to talk about PPP and EIDL a little bit. And I also wanted to talk about the SVOG, the Charter Venue Operators Grant. So this is a new round of federal programs that is rolling out right now to help independent operators, sole proprietors, small businesses. In fact, it's really been targeted at really super small businesses because they even rolled back the number of people you're allowed to have to 300 instead of 500 as employees. And I just really wanted to talk about it real quick. EIDL. So if you got an EIDL in the first round, there was supposed to be a $10,000 grant. The SBA cut that back to $1,000 per employee without authorization. They just basically did it. Thanks, Mnuchin. So EIDL this round, what they're starting out with is if you actually qualify, if you live in a low-income area and you didn't get a $10,000 grant, they're actually contacting you to let you know that they're going to make up the difference. So interesting way to roll it out. I don't know how accurate their contacting is going to be. I haven't gotten an email yet. By the numbers, I qualify for the extension of the grant. So hopefully they'll be in touch with me and other people who qualify. There will be an EIDL round 2. If they don't run out of money through giving out the rest of the $10,000 grants, they move on to people who didn't get a grant in round 1 but are in low-income neighborhoods, and then they move on to just opening up the EIDL again. PPP is open again, just like the first round. You have to apply through your bank. They are targeting smaller businesses, so they made some incentives in the program to make banks really want to deal with smaller businesses. If you didn't apply for PPP in the first round because it seemed too complicated or because whatever, you couldn't get your bank to give you the application, or you couldn't find a bank, there are a lot of banks. There's these new tech banks like Bluevine and old tech banks like PayPal PayPal has a PPP application. So if you have a PayPal account and you're an independent contractor or sole proprietor who lost money because of the pandemic, go apply through PayPal. Go apply through Bluevine. Go apply through your local economic empowerment company. These folks are specifically targeted towards helping you. And those applications are open for everyone. It's not a rush to apply. It's not like, if you don't get your application in right away, you won't get any money. The PPP is pretty well funded, so everybody applying should be able to get your money. And so stay tuned. Tune in every Wednesday to the Coffee Break Chat. We'll talk about this more as the programs continue to roll out. It's a slow process. It's the SBA. They're not quick with anything. Sorry, guys. And I just wanted to, so we're at 3 after. I just wanted to thank everybody for joining. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate you for joining me every week and being regular guests and talking about things from Black perspective. I personally think it's important that we get these perspectives out there. I may be crazy.
Gotta be a little crazy, but don't you feel a little bit better knowing that Cheeto Face is gone? I'm not saying it's going to be like Nirvana now. I just feel just a little bit better.
Just a little bit.
It feels like things aren't going to get precipitously worse as rapidly as they.
We can only go up from here. I like
that's
that.
That's how I feel about it.
Like we're already on meth.
Bottom of the barrel can only.
We're already on meth. We can only go up.
Listen, don't tempt fate. Please don't tempt fate.
It was all those days.
My positive take for the day, my positive feeling for the day is, they had the January 6th attempted coup, and then everybody saw that was crazy. And now you only have like the crazy QAnon lady driving around DC on the Beltway with her QAnon vehicle from Texas, and she's staying at a hostel. Is she? That's
even funnier. Yeah, because Airbnb and everybody canceled reservations and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So crazy QAnon lady, and I'm sorry I'm going over. If anybody wants to tune out, that's cool. Crazy QAnon lady is from Texas. She has a costume that she quote unquote plays a character that she calls the Q supporter, or I forget, super Q. I don't know.
Aren't these the same people who like make fun of cosplayers and shit? Like,
yeah, they are.
The same people that made fun of Obama for wearing a tan suit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But she has a little sports car that she drives around, and it has Q flags and Q stickers, and it has a personalized license plate that says Q supporter or Q Patriot. Q Patriot. That's what she calls her character. Is Q Patriot. And she's pledged to stay in DC until Donald Trump is installed as president again. But
oh man, that might be a while.
That's a long hotel stay.
I didn't mean to laugh hard.
Well, she's staying at a hostel. She's staying at a hostel. She can afford it.
That's insane.
It's $40 a night for the hostel. So.
Oh, maybe she can't. Maybe if the stimulus package had come through fully, maybe then she could have. Who knows?
Yeah,
well,
I guess true.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on for hours.
I mean, there's so much material by being just an incredibly huge nut baskets. We could go on for hours. Like, you're insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just caught a guy who was staying in the Chicago O'Hare Airport for 4 months or something like that because he was
3
scared.
months. Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, he was afraid to fly home because of COVID, which, like, on some level, I kind of understand, but that was like a pretty drastic.
Well, he was afraid. He was from India. He's an Indian national, so he was afraid to fly internationally.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
staying in the airport was probably the worst place.
No, man, Tom Hanks was doing pretty good in that movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I can't remember the name of it, but that was an awesome movie. Like, airport level doesn't seem that bad.
Right. You have your pick of a whole bunch of food, and you get to see.
I mean,
He's got like somebody's carry-on bag that he drew a face on named Wilbert.
This does fit me pretty good. Oh, thank you, Richard from Rhode Island.
Yeah.
They actually found him because he was burning a pile of luggage for warmth.
Oh, man.
Oh man, that's hilarious. I love that. That's awesome.
Oh man.
All right. We're gonna wrap up for the day. I really appreciate everybody for joining us and hanging out. If you've hung out till now, really appreciate you watching. We try and bring you up-to-date news and information every week. I missed one thing. What is that? This Friday at 7 p.m., go to Facebook Live and tune to the Honey Bee Baby live digital reading by Power Street Theater, created by Elena Ortez and directed by Gabriela Sanchez. So look up Power Street Theater on Facebook and you'll find the listing for their event. Meant to do that early in the broadcast and just we got right going. And there's also a couple other things going on in Philadelphia theater that are on the Light Thief Productions Facebook page and Twitter. So Light Thief Productions on Facebook, facebook.com/Light Thief Productions. Light Thief Prod, because Twitter doesn't have a lot of characters to their handles. Light Thief Prod on Twitter. Just cut off the extra letters. And Light Thief Productions on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe. Really appreciate it. And Megan is posting the links in the chat right now on Facebook. So thank you, Megan. Thank you, Cheryl, again. Thank you, Jay, again. And thank you, Chris, again. We're going to wrap up the broadcast. And please tune in next week. If you like what you see, subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the Facebook. Donate to our Patreon, patreon.com/Light Thief Productions. We bring you independent news, independent opinion. We're not beholden to advertisers, and we try and do this all through either me donating my time and money, or if folks have money to donate to us. We have levels as little as $1 a month. Donate $1 a month. It helps. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate our current Patreon subscribers. And we give our Patreon patrons a little bit of extra advanced info and advanced notice of projects and specialized posts sometimes that other folks don't get. So become a patron on Patreon and
do it.
Tune in,
like
next
and
week.
Subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe, and tune in next week. And hope to see you then.
Hey guys.
All right. Bye, guys.